Welcome to Seven River Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, wellness, and fitness. I know a lot of you read Sports Illustrated like I do, and I like the section like what's going on in the lives of former athletes. Well, in 2019, we're taking a version of that and to look back and catch up with former athletes in the La Crosse area and find out what's going on with them in their lives. So we are doing that today with Kassie Hansen, who started at the Boys and Girls Club, went to Logan High School, and now just finished 4 years at UW-Platteville. Welcome to the show, Kassie.
Hey, well, it's good to be here.
You were on the show when you were a high school student,
yeah.
And you did so well there. But a lot of people in the community just kind of lose track of athletes as they move away from the high school level. And again, that's our emphasis, to bring people back so our viewers know what's going on. Now, Kassie, let's go back to your early days of people that maybe inspired you, that told you and encouraged you in your high school years, and then say, hey, maybe you could be a college player someday.
Well, actually, the first people that ever inspired me to play basketball was my parents. My mom played basketball ever since she was a middle schooler, and she went to Logan. She played basketball, and I remember she was one of those people that really pushed me to just play sports. And I mean, I went and I played basketball, I played volleyball, I was on t-ball teams, and then I kind of really started to love the game of basketball a lot more than all the other ones. And then I went to, like what you said, I was on the BGC teams, and I actually went and I played on an AAU team with the YMCA here. And we had many coaches there. For one, JJ was a really big coach for me.
Jim Jacobson, a real close friend of mine that played for me years ago.
Yeah, he was a great coach. And then Richie, he was also a really good coach for me. Really influenced me to be a better post player in general. And then I went on and I played AAU with Playground Elite in Milwaukee. And every single coach just kind of pushed me harder and really brought more out that I didn't know I had.
Well, I knew you had it. I could see it not only in your size, but when you were very young. There was no question you had a gift. In high school, you were involved in lots of things. Mm-hmm. You were a multi-sport athlete. Go back to your high school years at La Crosse, Logan, and share a defining moment or so.
For sure, one of the defining moments in basketball was my sophomore year when I played with Adacia Williams. We went all the way to sectional finals, and it was an incredible game because there were so many people there, and we had such a tight and family-based team during that year, and we were so close to get into that next step, to get into state, but we couldn't cut it in the fourth quarter. And I just remember that game like no other. And that was one of those times where I was like, I wanted that competitiveness. I wanted to keep that in my life. And it was definitely one of those points in my times where I just wanted to keep playing basketball in college too.
But you were a multi-sport athlete. Again, today we're catching up with Kassie Hansen, former Logan star, and now finishing career with the UW-Platteville Pioneers. But you were a multi-sport athlete, and I remember you excelled in volleyball too. I mean, you could have went on and perhaps chosen another sport. I
could have, yeah. I was okay with volleyball, that's for sure. I think my next best sport was track. I got it to state when as a shot putter, I guess you would say, and I think I don't remember exactly what I placed in state, but I mean I could have gone forward in that aspect as well. But basketball was definitely my favorite sport.
So you graduate from Logan, and again an outstanding multi-sport athlete, student athlete, because you were great in the classroom too. And you think, okay, now what am I going to do? So you had options. I know you had options, but you chose to go 2.5 hours to the south to Platteville, Wisconsin.
Yep.
Reflect on those days when you were trying to determine what you wanted to do.
Yeah, so it actually came down to, I knew that I wasn't going to go further than college in basketball. It was one of those things where I was like, okay, well, let's think of something that I know I can excel in as a career-based as well. So I looked into all of my schooling, and I'm like, okay, well, what am I good at in school? And that's where I kind of looked into the whole engineering side of life. And two really good schools in the area with engineering is Stout and Platteville. So it actually came down to those two schools. And it was a toss-up for a long time. I didn't know which one I was going to. And it actually came to me where I was like, okay, Platteville has, I think, 7 disciplines in engineering. And I was like, okay, I think that this is a better option for me because I can get the best of both worlds. I can go to school and get a great degree and go on in engineering, and I can also play basketball for 4 years.
So as part of the Platteville Pioneers playing in the very tough WIAC conference, I've refereed in that conference for many years. By the way, I had a couple of your games early in your career.
I remember that, yeah.
And you maybe don't want to remember that, but I remember watching you play, admiring your skills as a referee. But you, going back to that transitional year when you, as a freshman, was that difficult for you?
It definitely was. It was a little bit of a challenge, I would say. Coming on to a brand new team, trying to feel everybody out, trying to figure out like what everybody played and how everybody played, and it was more of trying to kind of learn my own role as a freshman. We had 10 incoming freshmen that year, so I knew that I wasn't going to get that much playing time. But I surprisingly worked hard, and I got on the floor my freshman year, and I was very happy for that. But it was a good learning experience.
Well, I know playing 4 years for the Pioneers and knowing your mom and dad, when you were younger, they were a big part of your life, but they were a big part of your support team and at Platteville too, weren't they?
Yeah, they came to almost every game. The only games that they didn't go to were Whitewater, because that was about a 3.5-hour drive from La Crosse, and it was usually during the week, so they couldn't make it then. And any of the like Iowa games not in conference, they didn't really come to any of those. But otherwise, they were always there, and it was great to see them.
And you knew they were there. And was that an inspiration for you? Did you elevate your game knowing that they were there?
I always liked to play in front of them, for sure. It was more of a, I don't want to say a comfort, but always knowing that they're there cheering you on is just a good feeling in general. And I absolutely love the fact that they came to so many of my games.
Well, you as a Platteville Pioneer, WIAC all-sportsmanship team representing women's basketball for National Student Athlete Day. Wow, it's absolutely an impressive thing that you received. Talk about that.
Yeah, so that's actually an award that's given out to one person on every team at Platteville, and they notice them at a luncheon, and you get a little certificate, and it's just pretty much saying, like, thanks for being a student and an athlete. A lot of times when you go to college, you forget that we're also students. We go to class, we have all the homework and study for exams, so it was more saying, like, thank you for the hard work of also focusing on your schooling.
So your coach nominated you for that award?
Yes. Yep.
And there were others that were in the running too, I imagine.
Yeah, for sure. There were.
So speaking of that, okay, student athlete, I know you're an outstanding student. How difficult was that from a transition standpoint and then throughout your years? Because even though it wasn't Division I level of play, you still had fall workouts, spring workouts. Oh, yeah. We know that even in Division III, there's high expectations. Was that a challenge for you?
At first, yeah, for sure. Especially in engineering classes, there's a lot that we need to do in school. So a big thing that I did is I just did a lot of time management. I wrote down on my planner every day what I needed to do in class and what I needed to do in school. And there was a lot of times where I didn't hang out with my friends, and I would just make sure that I got my schoolwork done. And then I would usually wait until the weekend, and then I'll have a little bit more time to hang out with my friends.
A lot of people struggle with time management, and no matter what age. But did you learn some of that discipline when you were younger in high school?
I did, yeah. I also was on the in the Health Science Academy during my last 2 years of high school. So that gave me a lot of time management, because I would have to go to the university here the first 3 hours of my day, then go back to school for the rest of that time, go to my sports practice that I had in the afternoon, and then do homework. So I would have to time manage in high school, and that actually helped me a lot in college.
And you're on track to graduate in 2020.
Yep.
a lot of people have a hard time graduating, managing their studies and so on with sports and getting it all done in 4 years. You wisely have extended it another semester,
Yep.
so you didn't have to cramp everything in.
Yeah, I did that a little bit just to help me out. There was a lot of workload, especially for mechanical engineering. There was a time where I was like, I don't know if I want to put all these classes on just because I want to make sure that I maintain my GPA. So then it ended up being where I needed to push it back one more semester, and then I got the amazing opportunity to get a co-op here in La Crosse with Train Company. So I'll be working with them for about 6 months.
Wow. We'd like to see you come back, live around here, work at Train Company, use your skills as a player and a coach, and work with young people, because that would be a gift to athletes in the La Crosse area.
Yeah, I
Think
would
about
love
that. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more here on Seven Rivers Sports. We'll be right back.
With our busy lives, it's a comfort to know that we can still remember loved ones in a traditional way with a monument. Lewiston Monuments in Lewiston, Minnesota has been helping families purchase a monument for over 4 generations. You'll find a large selection of beautiful granite, marble, and bronze monuments, all at competitive prices. And they're a full-service company, so they also do straightening, cleaning, and repair of monuments. Stop in or call for a no-obligation consultation, or visit lewistonmonument.com for more information.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports again. Today, this week, we're catching up with Kassie Hansen. Just finished 4 years at UW-Platteville women's basketball. Well, I had a chance to talk to your coach, Megan Wilson. Here's what she said about you, Kassie. From the time that I recruited Kassie, I knew she would be a great addition to the program. When you're trying to build a Division III program, you're looking for student athletes who can bring a lot to the program, not only in skills, but in leadership. From the time she was a freshman until her last year of eligibility, she never changed. She was always somebody that we could count on. She represented our program and athletic department with true pioneer pride. I'm proud of what she accomplished, and she will be a successful leader. Now, you didn't even know I was talking to your coach about a little bit about you, but what impressive things she said about Kassie Hansen. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that makes me feel really good. It was a great 4 years coaching with Coach Wilson, and I always remember her saying that it depends on how much you put in the effort for any type of playing time and just being on the court. You have to work, and you gotta show that you want to be out there. And I remember since freshman year that I was like, okay, so then I'm gonna work hard because I wanna see the court. So that's what I tried to do.
I looked at your statistics and the number of games you played since you were a freshman. Wow. You are right there either in the starting lineup or coming off the bench. You are a big part of every game for all 4 years. Did you expect that?
I didn't expect that my freshman year, that's for sure. Like I said before, I walked on with 10 other people, so it was me and 9 others. And I just kind of expected just to be there and to just push everybody else. And the ability to be out on the floor was just kind of going to be a gift at that time. And then freshman year when I saw that and I was able to get playing time, I was very honored.
Well, we talked about Megan Wilson, your coach at Platteville, and your other coaches at Logan and when you were younger and traveling AAU. Describe for our viewers what you think is a coach that you really enjoy playing for. What are those characteristics?
Yeah. I want a coach that just motivates me to play as hard as I can. And one of those people that is also can be your friend off the court, but then also this really strong coach that knows what to say to you to motivate you. I know I've had so many coaches in my lifetime, and I've always told all of them that don't be afraid to yell at me. If I'm not doing something right, make sure you take me out. You yell at me, and I'll fix it, and then put me back in.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of athletes would be like, oh, don't yell at me, and then they would crumble like a cookie, an old cookie on the kitchen counter. But you wanted somebody to push you,
Yes.
just like you probably wanted teachers to push you the same way to move up to the level that you should be, right?
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I've always liked to be pushed in any type of my life. I like to be around people that can play basketball better than me, that are smarter than me, because those people are the people that make me learn, that push me. So I'm okay with it.
If I asked your teammates at Platteville, and I know some of them, including Megan Horseman, who's from Bangor,
Yeah.
and we got to have Megan Horseman on the show. She's a junior, so when she graduates,
Yes, one more year for her.
From Bangor, oh boy, I've watched her play at Platteville, and when she was at Bangor, there's a quality player too,
Yeah, she's amazing.
like you. If I asked your players to describe you, because they're going to see this once it hits YouTube, it'll be all over the world. What would they say about you?
I think they would say that I'm a very passionate and strong leader, and then also that I play as hard as I can. I think that's probably what they would say.
Any regrets as you close your season? I know you're going to graduate another semester, but your 4 years of eligibility over. That must have been, when that last game and that horn went off, it must have been emotional.
It was hard. Yeah, it was really hard, and it was the first time in like 4 years that we made it to our conference tournament. We played Stout for the third time, and we were up at Stout, and I remember Stout was just that much better. They shot just a little bit better than us that game, and it was really hard because I saw it at the end in that fourth quarter when I knew we weren't gonna pull it off, and it was a hard time.
You said in your bio, in your profile, that Stout and Luther, two teams you like to play against because they were up-tempo.
Yes. I always like playing against teams that are really fast because it makes you not sit there and think. I have such a hard time where I overthink too much sometimes, and you can see it. So whenever I play Stout and Luther, I don't have time to think. I just have to react to playing basketball, and I usually play better in those types of games.
Go back to senior day at Platteville, Bull Ryan Court, right? Mm-hmm. And that's senior night. Describe for our viewers, if you can, the emotions on senior night.
It didn't feel like it was senior night kind of deal. Like it felt so weird to see my picture up there. The time went by so fast that being a senior it didn't sit in yet until that night. And then I was like, this is my year. I'm done after this. And it was one of those things where it was kind of hard to believe, I guess I would say. It was just hard to understand that I'm going to be done after this year.
Rapid fire drill, you ready? You've had these in practice.
Yeah.
Greatest moment in college basketball for Kassie Hansen?
Yeah, I would say one of the best moments was when we were playing Whitewater. I think it was my junior year at Platteville, and it was a whiteout game. And there were so many students that showed up, and it was just packed. And we played one of the best games we've ever played against Whitewater. But we ended up losing, I think, by like 10 points. It was really close. But it was just the atmosphere of that game. It was so surreal, and it was so cool.
You were a captain. You explain for our viewers very quickly, what is the role of a captain?
I guess mainly just you gotta be someone that the team kind of looks up to when they have questions, when they need help, when they don't know the plays. Something like that. You're always there to help out your teammates.
Dealing with drama.
Yeah, dealing with drama. That's a perfect thing.
Yeah, and of course that's all over the place. Mm-hmm. Your toughest opponent that you played against in 4 years?
Yeah, in the WIAC for sure, it was either Whitewater or Oshkosh, and it was only because of the fact that they were so sound when they played basketball. They were always very disciplined in the sport itself. So whenever we were out there, we needed to make sure that we had to come out to play, and every time it was a really tough game.
What's something that our viewers may not know about Kassie Hansen?
Yeah, so my family is actually a racing family.
NASCAR kind of racing, you mean?
I mean, not
a version of it.
Yeah, not to that extent, but yeah, kind of close. It's called Champ Car, and my dad and brother have a Dodge Neon. that they have worked on for I think 2 years now, and they are always out in the garage fixing it, changing it, trying to do something. And I actually ended up racing once last summer. I was in one of the legs, because what they do, it's like an 8-hour race, and they have 4 different racers or drivers. Each one drives for 2 hours at a time. So I was in the car for 2 hours, and it was really fun.
Wow, something I learned. Champ for Champ Car Series. I've always thought you were deep, full of substance, even when you were younger, and I noticed that, and I shared that with other people. You had a philosophy of life even when you were young, but maybe you've changed it a little bit over the years. What is that?
I've always had a philosophy that I need to be someone that someone can look up to, just in any sense. Working, basketball, school. I want to be someone that my cousins can look up to, that I can tell my kids in the future, like, this is what I did. Like, I want to, I guess, impact others.
Yeah, and you certainly have. Do you have a favorite saying that kind of goes along with that philosophy?
Yeah, so one of my favorite sayings that I found not that long ago was, don't let a bad person affect you from being a good one. And I try to live by that.
The book of Proverbs talks a lot about that too, by the way. A lot of young people watch this show. A lot of parents watch the show. And I'm always interested in advice that you would give. Maybe not just practice, but advice you would give to young people, like our own granddaughters. Yeah. We have 15 grandchildren, and I think most of them are girls. They're always like wondering what they can do to be successful. What would you tell them?
I would just say keep working hard in whatever you do. If you keep working hard, results will come. And like everybody says, practice makes perfect. Show up on time. Just be nice to others.
And would this describe you? You always had an appetite to learn. You never thought you had all the answers. Your body language displayed that you welcomed coaching and teaching. A lot of people don't do that. Thoughts? Yeah, like I said earlier, I've always wanted to learn, and just being there, listening to coaches, trying to get better, that's always what I've wanted to do. Fast forward as we close the show to Kassie Hansen, 10, 20, 30 years from now. I know that's sometimes difficult to do, but where would you like to be? I don't know where I'll be located, but I hope to have a great job in some sort of engineering career, and I do see myself being some sort of a coach. I do. It might not be on the level of like high school or like a school, but it might be like a AAU team or a club team. Yeah. If you didn't catch the first part of the show, I said in 2019, periodically, we are going to be catching up with former athletes that have gone on and achieved success. And Kassie Hansen is one of them. Not only success as an athlete, but as a role model and as a person, as somebody that's aspiring to get her college degree and then go on and accomplish a lot more. It's been a pleasure, Kassie Hansen, to have you on the show. Thanks for being here, and hopefully we'll stay in touch. And when you coach a team and you're in the area, maybe we'll have you on with a couple of your players. Sounds great. All right. Thanks, Kassie. All right. We'll be back with some closing thoughts right after this.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is our business.
When you're faced with the decision of selecting a monument to honor someone dear to you, call Lewiston Monuments for a no-obligation consultation. Lewiston Monument is a full-service monument company, serving families in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for over 4 generations. You'll find beautiful granite, marble, and bronze memorials, all at competitive prices. Their experts can help you design the perfect and unique memorial. Lewiston Monument. Call today or on the web at lewistonmonument.com.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Well, I hope you enjoyed our interview with Kassie Hansen, a remarkable athlete, lacrosse Logan, and then on to play 4 years for the Platteville Pioneers women's basketball. We've completed our high school baseball schedule as we covered both Holman and Aquinas into the postseason. We now take a break from high school sports until late August when we bring you a full schedule of high school football here on KQEG. I hope you can join us this fall. We are broadening our list of guests as we continue to look for ways to improve the show. If you have an idea for a guest or a topic, please contact us here at the studio. Check your local listings as we continue to bring you Knights of Thunder Racing every Thursday and every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Thanks for joining us this week. Until next week, when my guest will be Sierra Lyon, a tremendous young lady who has begun a program with dance and wellness called Abilities in Harmony, and you won't want to miss this show. Till next week, I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping that you will have an active and a healthy week ahead.